Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the X's and Joe show. I'm Izzy. That's X. And today we got ourselves a special guest. It is Junior. He is a big time Titans fan, but not only that, he is a lover of the sport of football. And that is something that we can stand behind and appreciate. So first of all, Junior, if you want to just like introduce yourself, something interesting about yourself that you can add on to here, you can go right ahead.
Hey, just a lover of the game. Been a Titans fan for half my life, not a full life, but half my life, and ready to talk some X's and Joes with you, and talk about this off season.
I love the honesty. I love the half of my life. I love that honesty.
Yeah, so we can appreciate the honesty for sure. So let's just hop right into it. All right. First team that I really want to talk about is the Colts. We're going to be talking about today is the AFC South. So the Colts are first on the list. So it really looks like they made some additions, some departures, but nothing really that stuck out that was really too crazy to me, at least. With their left tackle leaving, Castananzo, with him leaving, it looks like they're going to need some help there, but I saw them pick somebody up, but it wasn't really a big name or anything like that. But regardless, and then also they are going to need some help for sure in the wide receiver department. This is going to be Wentz's first season with the Colts, right? So, obviously they're going to need some help in that department, even though they did re-sign T.Y. Hilton. But there's not really no other big names there, no big bodies there that can really compete at the same level as the veteran T.Y. Hilton. So what's some of your thoughts on some of the moves with the Colts?
I mean, you said nobody big, man. I mean, listen, Carson Wentz has been hurt, right? He had a crazy injury past, and he didn't live up to the hype for a bit. I get it. Offensive line was kind of crappy for a bit over in Philadelphia. He had older receivers, last year. They were injury prone as well. But you leaving out like, hey, I don't see anybody big names or big different. Carson Wentz is that guy. Carson Wentz is their big get. He's going to be revived back with his old offensive coordinator. On the wide receiving group, I'm looking at it, and T.Y.'s back, which is big, but I think Michael Pittman is going to ball a bit. I think he's going to grow. I think he's going to ball a bit. So he's got some weapons there. I do think he needs a little bit more. Carson Wentz definitely going to need a little bit more weapons. The offensive line, man, the Colts offensive line is really good. Now, losing out your left tackle is a big deal, but they have a lot of depth and they have a strong offensive line. So addressing that in the drafts or via trade, maybe preseason, when teams are shuffling players around, I think they can grab that. So I think Colts have a pretty nice team. I think losing Audrey, that was big on defense for them. I think it's a big loss. Other than that, I think they're in good position for Carson Wentz. This kind of rebuild that they're doing since Philip Rivers retired.
I feel like they are putting a lot of weight on the Carson Wentz deal, right? Because he had that one good season that they went to the Super Bowl, and he got injured. He's been injured almost every season, if not every season, of his career so far. So they're putting a lot of weight on him. So I would definitely say that they need to shore up their wide receivers. T.Y. is a good retainment, but I don't think that he is the same T.Y. that he used to be. Pittman definitely steps up, and I think he's going to improve in this season. But I would not be shocked if they draft a wide receiver in the first round. I think they also have to address cornerback. And I wouldn't be surprised if they address that in the first round. And then not only did they lose Autry, but I'm pretty sure they also lost Houston as well in the offseason. So their pass rush can use some help. And did they also lose their linebacker who plays opposite Leonard?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so they did lose a couple players due to the free agency. So Autry was one of them, Walker, and then I do not see. You said Houston?
Yeah, I believe they lost Justin Houston as well.
I don't see anything in here.
I think he's still a free
He
agent.
might, I think he's still a free agent. Yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't signed him. So that's quite a few key players that they had that they haven't addressed those positions. So they're leaving a lot to the draft. Granted, their GM has drafted really well, right? And he's consistent. I believe he's newer, but he's consistently drafted well recently. So we'll see what they do in the draft.
Yeah. I think that Marlon Mack re-signing too was big. I mean, I know injuries hampered Marlon Mack, but dude's a baller. So I think bringing him back, and it's a 1-year deal. So kind of a prove it deal.
And Xavier Rhodes.
That was a nice re-signing for 1 year as well. Yeah. Agreed.
And Xavier Rhodes.
But with it being one year, Junior, I agree with you. I see them trying to fill out that roster and that depth at cornerback as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good team though.
Yeah, definitely good team.
Definitely a good team. Definitely, I would say top 2 in the division, behind my Titans. But
we'll get into that later. Relax there, buddy. All right. So
what do you think about this Carson Wentz move? Right. What do you think about this trade? And they gave up some things, for Carson Wentz. Do you think this was a good move? Do you think they should have waited and try to trade up and get into the first round, get up higher into the first round, just get a new quarterback? Or do you think this is the right move for Indianapolis?
I think it is the right move for right now. All right. I think that they have a team that can win right now. I think they have a team that doesn't need a superstar quarterback. And we saw that last year with Phillip Rivers. Yes, he's Phillip Rivers, but he's not a superstar at this point in his career. He just retired, right? Carson Wentz needed this because Frank Reich is possibly the only coach that could really save his career outside of like Andy Reid, and that's not an option for him, right? So I think it was a good deal for both sides, both parties. But I'm not afraid of Carson Wentz, right? Like I acknowledge that he's good, but he's not Deshaun Watson. He's not even like Kyler Murray. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not those quarterbacks that really put fear into you. But he's still a solid. He is an upgrade over Jacoby Brissett.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, Wentz, no matter how or which way you slice it, the kid's talented. The kid's got some talent. The injuries just got to put it behind him. He's got to work on the game a little bit as well. But I think you hit it right on the head. I think Frank is the guy to work with him. It's shown in the past, best seasons with him. And I think going forward, it's a marriage that it's perfect for both sides. And I just want to see him healthy. And I think if he's healthy and being back with Frank, also with the talent around him, he's going to need just a little bit more. I'm interested to see that, man, because I think it is going to be the Titans and the Colts batting a lot for that division.
Yeah. So you guys, again, both of you are hitting it right on the head as far as that. I personally think that this team can bring out the best in Carson Wentz. And with that coach behind him and helping him out. And on top of that, we all got to take into consideration that the Eagles previously didn't have that great of a line in the first place. and so he kept getting injured, and he was running, and it's obviously a recipe for disaster. And now that he can actually stand behind a line that is going to protect him and watch over him, it's going to play a huge difference in how fast he can get that ball out and how precise he can be. So it's just going to be exciting to be able to see Carson Wentz be able to throw the ball and not really have to sit here and worry too much about, having, defenders all over him, like I said, with that line. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens from there.